Hey there, thank you so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, then welcome back. My name is Christiana, and this channel is Well Behaved Wallet, where my mission is to love the life I have while building the life of my dreams. So first of all, Happy New Year. It is the beginning of January, and this is typically a time for reflection and looking at kind of what's been working that I use to look at what's been working and think about what some changes I'd like to make and things I'd like to continue doing in the new year. So I have to also say thank you so much for your patience with me. I know the last time I uploaded was, I want to say December 24th. I'd done Vlogmas all of December, and I had taken a planned break, but I wasn't so great at letting you guys know that I was planning on taking a break. So thank you for checking in. Sandra, I'm looking at you. So yes, I had a wonderful Christmas and a really, really fantastic New Year, and I hope that you did too. And I hope that you're excited for this year to come, because I certainly am. So I'm excited for the year to come. That said, I'm kind of at a place where I am not entirely sure, I don't say which direction I'm going to take, but I'm not really sure kind of where I'm going to go, where I'm going to plan to go, because I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and here's why. In the past, what I've done is I've set, I don't know if you can relate to this, I've set a bunch of like really sort of high, lofty, completely unrealistic goals, thinking that, oh, there's a reach goal, so I'll just work really hard and get them done. And I like come out of the gate really strong, and I'm good until like the middle of February, and then by then I'm like topped out. And that's pretty much kind of what happened last year. I had some really ambitious business goals that I did a really good job working at through March. And I incorporated my company just for doing eBay and reselling things. I placed a wholesale order. I got some things in line as far as that goes. But then by March, I like started to tank. And what had happened was things around sort of my day job started to get a little more challenging. And I honestly didn't think that I was concerned for myself in my working conditions. I was not giving my best. And that's something that I hate to do. I hate that feeling of not doing my best. And that was something that I just, there were circumstances outside of my control and that I could have controlled, and I just didn't. So that, there were a lot of lessons there. And I'm actually going to talk about this because this is just going to kind of be like sort of a rundown of what happened last year, what I learned, and what I'm planning, I guess, the overall strategy I'm planning on using this year, because it's still to be decided. I'm still kind of not really sure. And I don't want that to be, to stop me from taking action. Even though I'm not entirely sure about where I want to head, I don't want that to stop me from moving in a direction. Just pick a direction. It's like if you're in a car, if the car's not moving, you're not going anywhere. It doesn't even matter if you're not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're not heading in the right direction. You can always turn around, but you have to be moving in order to turn around. So that's kind of the analogy I'm going to use, and I'm going to kind of run through what's happened. And I don't have any notes or anything. I'm just kind of like taking this as a little bit stream of consciousness, but also, again, using that framework of what happened, what I learned, and what I'm going to be doing this year, what I'm going to try to do this year. So in my day job, I kind of came up against some challenging work conditions, and I would say that there were a few different factors. And what I learned overall is I have a really strong sense of pride, and the good part of that is it motivates me to do a good job, it pushes me forward. My sense of pride in doing well pushes me forward. The negative side is that it keeps me from asking for help. And I think that in this situation, my pride was the biggest impediment to succeeding in the workplace, because I let myself get carried away. And I kind of feel like I allowed myself to be, I don't want to say swayed, but it was a toxic combination of my pride and my people pleasing skills, because I feel like it was like, oh, well, do you need help? Like, I felt like the way that I was asked if I needed help was a little bit, I don't know, it wasn't patronizing, but it was like I should have asked for help sooner. That was just it. I should have asked for help sooner and said, yes, I need help. This is unrealistic. I need help. Meaning this workload is too heavy. And that is a tough thing for anyone to say. I don't know if you can relate, but like anytime you need to say like this is too much, it's hard. So I think that was my biggest takeaway from last year is I should have asked for help sooner. As it was like an act of God came in and saved me. Literally an act of God saved me in that work situation because I was able to transfer to work for a different division within the same company because of an amazing boss and mentor that saved me. It literally saved me. So I was able to keep working for the same company in a different capacity, which was like it wasn't a Hail Mary. It was like I don't even know what to call it, like a second life. It was amazing. So that was my year, and that's where I ended the year. And it actually turned out that in the last month of the year, this amazing mentor ended up leaving the company. And the person that stepped in to kind of take over some of his responsibilities is also pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to working with him. But now it looks like kind of what I'm wondering if will happen is I'm wondering if some shifting around departmentally might make I'm almost positive this is going to happen. Let's just say there's storm clouds on the horizon as far as the whole division in the location that I'm working out of. So that's just something that I've known has kind of been there for a while. And you see the storm on the horizon and you take out your umbrella. So that's kind of where I am as far as my day job goes. And then again, all that to say that this is the company I work for is fantastic. I know at least one coworker watches, and I think that is so cool. And he's amazing. So if you're watching, I'm saying hello to you, coworker. So that's where that is as far as my day job. And again, what I learned from that is to swallow my pride sooner and to temper pride with I don't say reality, but just saying like, hey, yeah, I do need help and there's nothing wrong with that. So having the confidence to say I need help and there's nothing wrong with that. Or this is too much and there's nothing wrong with that. So that was definitely what I learned. So I will be taking that going forward. So that's number one. Number two, last year, a lot of things came back to life in a good way. So also what I've learned is I can only be responsible for my side of the street, but I have to be responsible for my side of the street. There's a lot on that side of the street is the other thing that I've learned. So how this relates to my channel and my financial health and kind of my wallet, because that's the purpose of this channel, right, is to build a well-behaved wallet. And the reason I started this channel is because I need help doing that. Like, I can't do it alone. I need help. That's like, I have the confidence to say that I need help and to swallow my pride and say that. So all that to say that for 2020, I do know one thing. I know that I would love to see this channel grow and flourish because this is something I love to do. I love interacting with you. I love watching people on YouTube. I love putting my own thoughts out there and getting feedback on them. And I love that that there's such a platform for contribution and for collaboration on this platform. So that's kind of the thing that I look forward to the most. So I would like to see this channel grow and flourish. That means kind of doing more of that means doing more of what works and less of what doesn't work. So I'm looking at the videos that it seems like you guys like to see and enjoy seeing. And that really falls into, let's say, 3 categories. And I'm still kind of, Vlogmas was interesting because it did give me a lot of feedback on what's working and what's not working, what people like to see, what people don't like to see. And so far, the videos that do really well are my videos on my reviews. If you haven't seen the Filson review, that's apparently really popular, and it's more of a first look than a review. So that's been really popular, which is interesting. And I love doing stuff like that. Like, I love reviewing things. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to do more of that. So if you have any suggestions of things you'd like me to review, let me know, because that's something I really enjoy doing. And then budgeting videos are popular, kind of my story when I'm doing actual budgets. So let me know if you want to see more of those. And then finally, things like decluttering, motivation, cleaning, things like that. tend to be kind of popular as well. And that's a little bit more challenging because you have to like set up a camera angle, and it's better if you do it in daylight and all of that. But that's something I enjoy doing. And then the fourth thing is probably mindset and my vision journals and planning videos, which is something else I love to do. So those are 4 areas that I'm really looking at making more videos in. And devoting more time to. The thing with that is it takes a little bit of time and energy and planning and just really sitting down and getting it done. So that's something I'm going to be carving out time to do. So all of that to say, I would love to hear your feedback. If any of those 4 areas, that's reviews, my story, and actual budgets, decluttering, and motivation videos. If any of those 4 things sound interesting to you, let me know. Let me know what you would most like to see, because that's what I want to do. I want to do stuff that you want to see. So that's where I am for the year, and I guess that's pretty much how I would sum it up, is doing more of what works and less of what doesn't. And I went on a walk today because I knew I wanted to film and get this up, but I had no idea what to talk about. And the 2 words that came up to me were contentment, because for the first time in my life, I just feel like I just feel content. I'm not like wishing or hoping or, striving for anything, which has been a large defining factor for most of my life and has kind of spurred me forward, like this sense of not discontentment, but wanting more. So that's been huge, that I don't necessarily feel, I don't feel that. I feel more content than I do discontent, which I feel like more than 51%. I feel like I would say 80 to 90% content, which is such a great feeling, but it's very new for me. Like, this is very unusual and I like it. So that's number 1, is contentment. And number 2 is curiosity. So rather than being motivated by the sense of discontentment and wanting to find that thing that will make me feel content, I want to be motivated by a sense of being curious. Like, what would happen if I did this? Or what would happen if I do that? Why don't I try doing this? Why don't I keep doing that? What would happen if? So the action may be the same, but the motivation is different. What's motivating me is a lot different. And I think for me personally, that's a lot more healthy. So to be motivated by that feeling of curiosity rather than discontentment. So that's where I am for 2020. I don't have a lot, but that's kind of the starting point, is more of what works, less of what doesn't, and curiosity as opposed to discontentment. So that's it. That's what I got. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know. I love to hear your feedback. And I'm doing my best to be better about responding to individual comments. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll keep watching. Bye, and Happy New Year.